Alright, welcome to episode 90 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today I am looking at some pixel art designs I did for Mega Man Fully Charged back in 2017. This is a bit of an unusual job for me. I don't often do design jobs, but I do love my pixel art. Let's get into it. Start off with Fireman.
You're toast. Oh, they think we're tools.
Alright, so you can see in 3D here, Fireman is a big, strong character. Got all these huge tubes coming off of him. Those need to be greatly simplified for pixel work. Something like a light bulb there is just going to be 1 or 2 pixels. He's got this nice blocky head, which lends itself well to pixel art, so that's good. So let's see what happens here when we take it, we make him into pixel art. There we go, really simplified. Keeping them, the head's maybe, 10 pixels tall there. The entire character turns out to be about 40, 45 pixels tall. Yep, add the fire. That's all we need. That's Fireman. Okay, time for Chemistry Man.
I finally have the student body right where I want them. Chemistry Man!
And it's always how great when the villains say their own name so you know who they are. Chemistry Man! You can see he's got a very pixel-friendly head here. Nice and blocky, that's what we want to have for pixels. Even something like this, where we have this big spherical body, that works well for pixels because it's easy to do a round shape if you have enough pixels. Claw on one hand for the silhouette, Bunsen burner on the other hand. So we got to make sure this all reads nicely. So you can see the claw on the right-hand side there on screen right, Bunsen burner on screen left, and there's a 4 drawing cycle for when he bubbles up inside.
I'll never stop. This is what I do. I was created to clean. I love to clean. Some call me too enthusiastic. Can you believe that?
Waveman's just kind of a goofy character. Now he's got these big air tanks on his back. He can shoot a hook and cable out of that one hand there. His legs, they start off skinny and get big and clunky, as is often the case with these characters. And he waves around his blaster. The crown here needs to be greatly simplified. And in general, you can see I make the heads quite a bit bigger than they were, just because we need more detail there to be able to show eye direction. The crown is about 10, 12 pixels wide there. And when he shoots the water out like a hose, that's got to come out pretty quick. When you see the design here, this is just some iterations to go through, making them a bit stronger, a bit taller, a bit more appealing. That's generally starting off with something accurate and then adding more appeal as we go. 8 drawing cycle there, and of course, Waveman just wants to be loved. He just wants to find his pet alligator that was flushed down the toilet. Iceman.
Humans and robots should be together. My name is Iceman, not Snowflake.
So Iceman has similar proportions to Mega Man, so I could kind of use Mega Man as a template there. He's got these, again, nice pixel eyes here. That's really just transfers over very well. Nice chunky hair. That's going to work as well. I'm Iceman. He's got to introduce himself. Got lots of room for the eyebrows and the pixel design there. So we want to make sure we include that. We can get that whole face in there. We get a couple pixels for the mouth. When the mouth's closed, he ends up only being about 2 heads tall, this character. And that just works well with pixels. So shrinking him down, enlarging that head, getting those arms a little bit more refined, shrinking them down again, figuring out those eyes. There we go. Yeah, those eyes have a bit of a blue tint to them. And there's Iceman. Yeah, that's nice and strong. Drill Man.
The name is Drill Man.
But I was born with music in my heart. Father never approved. He forced me into the family business, mining. And so they shall pay.
Such a tragic story, Drill Man. He's this big, strong character who can just fight off Mega Man's blasts. You can see in the pixels, or in the 3D design here, his eyes are a little bit too complicated with those angles. We have to simplify those. Those drills, that's going to be way too big and angular. We're going to have to simplify that just so they're more horizontal. That center globe, we're going to feature that. And small designs like on the shoulder there can't really be included. They'll just turn into single pixels. You can see that, that's his mouth here. So this is some of the earlier designs that I did just on pencil. This is what it would look like. and then transferring that into pixel art. You can see the 2 drills on the top there are just mostly horizontal now, and this is just a 2-frame cycle for the drill spinning. Hey, Hypno Woman.
I don't want to hurt you. I want to enlighten you.
Diggity down!
Which is why I'm going to give Silicon City the hard reset it needs.
So Hypno Woman, she monologues a lot. She does a lot of talking, so we need to make sure she has an expressive face. It's going to reflect that. You can see these wings that she has at the back, her Hypno wings here. There's 8 of them, and so we have to make sure those are going to read really clearly in the pixel art. And it's something that works in 3D and needs to be exaggerated further when we get to that kind of pixel art scale. So taking that original design here, this is how tall she'd be. Much too tall. We're going to shrink her down, get her more pixel friendly, make those wings bigger. And then comparing her to Mega Man, she's still too tall. So we got to get her shrunk down again. Keep that head the same size. Keep the expressiveness in the features. Elecman.
You there! You copied my power!
Don't want.
Think you're charged up? Let's see who's got the real spark!
You can see Elecman is lightning fast because Elecman moves like lightning. Now Elecman here is about 5.5 heads tall. That's pretty tall. We can't have a character that tall in pixel art unless you're going to really be compressing that head down. So this is how Elecman would start, around this tall here. We're going to shrink Elecman down, keep the head the same size though. Keep on pushing, pushing, pushing. Here we go, refining the face more. Yeah, final design ends up being about 3 heads tall, 3.5 maybe. That's about right.
Finally! I hate disguises! Much more of a smash and grab sort of gal. So nobody move! I'm Blasto Woman! So is money! And I'm working my tail off for it today!
Blasto Woman was one of my favorite designs. Lots of shape change here. You can see when those wings pop out, you get a terrific silhouette value there. She is about 5.5 heads tall as well, so we're going to need to compress that a bit, keeping her head expressive enough. She has a small head, so there's not a lot of room for details, but we still got to be able to show the eyes and mouth there. When it comes to the little pigtails she's got there, we can't really do too much with that. We'll include them in the design, but can't really animate them too much. So she ends up about 4 heads tall here. And you can see that we got a good amount of detail on her. Nice colors. Those rockets and wings have a terrific silhouette. When she turns around, we get really nice change on the shape there. Super effective. And of course, she likes hand-to-hand combat. She's one of the few, everybody else depends on different weapons, but she's more just get in there and fight. So really nice arms, really good punches here, lots of fighting opportunity that she's got. And she has to stay relatively small to be able to fight Mega Man. Last but not least,
I don't see your rank displayed, soldier.
ninja throwing stars made of grass. Emerging from a log. Woodman can disguise himself as a log and then pop out. He's a long, lanky ninja. Coming forward here, throwing those throwing stars. Now, Woodman is a challenge. 7.5 heads tall. There is not much room for a face there. There is only really the eyes showing. Can't really see the mouth. So, gotta try and get a few extra pixels there in the head so we can have enough eyes, big enough eyes for the eye direction. Here's the transform into a log and back into Woodman. I really like that design too. That was one of my favorite ones. That was such a fun job. It was just something I'll probably only ever do once, getting to design pixel art. Worked with some terrific people on there in the design team, doing the 3D designs. Peter and Francine and Derek, Diane, Harrison, Lara, and Roland was doing the art direction. You can see some of the designs here at the end. Yeah, a lot of fun working on this show. So thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.